another major kind of player in Europe at least, and I would imagine in the Emirates as well, is PDRN,
Yes.
which we can only use topically in the United
Uh-huh.
States, and
Hmm.
and so and we're just trying to learn about it more, how effective it is topically. We love the idea of it working through the A2 receptor for anti-inflammatory purposes, as well as being kind of a reservoir of material to help repair DNA. But what are your experiences with it injected?
So, first of all, we have to differentiate between polynucleotides and PDRN.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, so that's very, very important. The polynucleotides are much larger. They're the ones that are being injected. The PDRNs are usually not. They're the ones that are found more or less topically. Their source is also different. One is actually from their salmon sperm. The other one is actually from the salmon testes. So in terms
Ah,
of sourcing is also very different. So these are the two basic kind of differentiations between the two of them. Now, you've mentioned correctly, I mean, in terms of the pathways, there are two pathways in which they tend to work. One is the alpha 2 receptors and basically affecting the inflammatory process. Then the other one is that it has this DNA salvage pathway. So you're injecting material that basically contains a lot of, pretty much DNA bioproducts and materials that the body is then able to kind of utilize because there's a reservoir of it and kind of puts it together and allows pretty much for a stimulatory effect. So the way that if you look at it under the microscope, it has a scaffold. It looks like an actual scaffold, and the more viscous the product is, the more the scaffolding it is, and that's how it tends to work out. So you're just simply creating these scaffolds in the dermis that allows pretty much stretching of the fibroblasts, because we've known that stretching the fibroblasts themselves allows it to be activated. So that's how it tends to work out in a way. But I have to admit, and they also admit, pharma research, for example, one of the leading companies that makes polynucleotides out of South Korea, admit that there is definitely a lot of studies that are coming out in the pipeline that will hopefully showcase how the actual material tends to work. When it comes to polynucleotides, the hype kind of beat the science, but the science is definitely catching up. And
okay.
hopefully, once that happens, you'll definitely see a lot of, a lot of it pretty much in the literature.
I didn't realize that it acts as a scaffold. I've always wondered if it was
Mm,
a true filler or is it just kind of biostimulatory in and of itself, and it sounds like
yeah.
it's the latter.
Yes, yes, it is.